So you put about 15 million baht in, but the land...
Last year that was.
Oh, just last year?
Just last year, yeah.
What would you reckon the total investment into the whole project?
Oh, God. You can't even make a cup of tea here. They want to do everything for you. They want to make all your food. You live like a king, really. Well, I do anyway. And all of a sudden I felt this cold thing on the back of my neck. I thought it was a teaspoon. And I turned round and she got a gun on me. You know, you blame yourself. You blame yourself a lot. If I'd have been there, I could have stopped this. But only build what you can walk away from. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that the family show gratitude? All right, Daz, thanks for inviting me today. Here we are in Korat, Nakhon Ratchasima. So I guess we'll start at the beginning. What did you do before Thailand? What were you up to?
I was a truck driver in the UK and done it for 35 years. My father died in 2022, and just before he died, he told me, he says, if you want to live the life, retire now, don't do it when you're 65. He says, because you're usually too knackered. So that's what I did, took his advice. I built a couple of houses in the UK. The last one I done was a 4-bedroom house, and I sold that, and then that gave me the money to come out here and retire with. I first come to Thailand in 2016, and I met a girl when I was in Thailand from Non Sung. I had a friend who lived in Non Sung, and I worked with him, and he just kept telling me to come out to Thailand and have a look at his house he'd built. I eventually come out and had a look at it, and stayed with him 3 weeks and met a girl while I was there named Anna. About 50 years older, wasn't he? Yeah, 50 years older. Yeah. And never been to Pattaya. Just went to Non Sung, stayed at Non Sung, and went back home working, coming back to Thailand working, doing a bit here, sort of visiting in Thailand, holiday, back to England working again. And while I was working in England, Anna committed suicide on herself. So that was a bit of a hit. Knocked me about for a bit. But, we was going to do a lot together. Anna had a lot of land, and we was going to build and rent properties really in Thailand. There was a lot of people in Non Sung who hadn't got good houses to live in and all that. We was going to do like cheap living houses for them. I was still working in the UK, so I was self-employed, and so I had to keep going back to the UK. I'd come here for a couple of months and then back to the UK sort of thing, do some more work, and then come out. Yeah.
So when you did come back and you met your current wife, Jane, you were coconut picking.
I had 2 friends. I used to go and drink coconuts every day with them. They asked me if I wanted to go coconut picking one day, so I just said, yeah, I'll come with them. So they said, we're going to the CQ area. So I'd never been up here, so I'll come with them. And when Jane's mum saw me, she wouldn't let me pick the coconuts, and she said my daughter speaks English. So that's how it started, yeah. When you first come here, you think, can you cope with this? But I love it here, mate. I never leave the farm, really.
What do you love about it?
It's quiet, you can hear the pin drop at night, yeah. And you got all the wildlife where you've lost all the birds, seem to lose all the birds in the UK. And you got a lot of birds here, a lot of wildlife, snakes, all sorts, squirrels, all sorts there. Yeah.
And how old are you now, Daz?
I'm 59 now, 60 in August.
Did you plan at the start to be building something this big that you've built, or has this just come about?
No, not at all. I just retired out to Thailand and was going to just go holidaying and travel Thailand and different places, but Jane didn't want to do that. Thais have a different idea to us. I want to keep working, so Jane's a bit younger than me.
จะเป็นปุ๋ยขี้ไก่ปุ๋ยขี้วัว
สำหรับปลูกผัก
สำหรับปลูกมันสับปะหลัง สำหรับปลูกข้าวโพด
แล้วตอนนี้มันมีแมลงเยอะ
ใช่เป็นแมลงเยอะมาก
จะเป็นแบบนี้กี่วันครับ
น่าจะประมาณสักเดือนนึงได้ค่ะ
เดือนนึง
ถ้าฝนมาเขาก็จะไปละ
So she wanted to carry on working, so we had a discussion, and she says, I want to follow me father's footsteps of digging the pools, keeping fish, and doing a bit of fishing. So we're looking to open the fishing park towards the end of September. Yeah.
And he'd already started the project, had he?
He dug the pools out, yeah, and stocked most of fish already, yeah.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
So What was actually built when you first arrived here?
Just a house and this car park. Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah.
And what you've done now is expanded?
Yeah. We built a couple of homestays there. We built all the roads in, I put all underground drainage in. Basically built a bar and restaurant here. Basically putting everything right, spending a lot of money.
What would you say you've invested in total, or have you not been tracking it very much?
Last year I think it was 15 million baht. Yeah.
Oh, so you have been tracking it quite...
Roughly, yeah. Roughly.
So you put about 15 million baht in, but the land...
Last year that was.
Oh, just last year?
Just last year, yeah.
What would you reckon the total investment into the whole project?
Oh, God. For me and Jane's father, probably gain on towards 100 million, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's including the land as well, right?
No, that's just a dig out, the shaping, all the pool here, all the land. Yeah, that's a dig out's quite expensive. Yeah.
And being a builder back in the UK, have you found the Thai building style?
Totally different. Yeah. Thais don't want to do the sort of building we do. They want to do their own style building. So sometimes you have to go to their style, mix it a bit like your style and their style. Yeah.
And some of the things that you've asked them to do here, have they ever looked at you a bit strange? Like?
Yeah, that all the time. Yeah, we have to have because they're family. Jane, save any arguing or anything. Say if they want to do a concrete floor, they want to do it by hand. So we've got a big mixer over there, what I brought, and we have a vote really, and you put up your hand if you want to use a mixer, and so they always win because it's like usually 5 or 6 votes against one. I want to use a mixer, so we end up doing it by hand or getting the concrete ready mixing.
And how many of them are you? Jane's family are also your staff, right?
We've got Jane's auntie, Tung, we've got her son, we've got Sid, Jane's brother-in-law, and we've got Yusa, Jane's sister, and Jane's mum.
And is everybody on payroll, or some working for free, or do they get paid per job? Or?
No. Usually they look at rural areas, they look at paying Thais about $350 a day, really. So I can't do that, it's criminal. So I'll pay them between 500 and 700 baht a day, roughly. Yeah.
And how often do you need them?
Every day. Yeah. We couldn't do this without them. It's too big to do alone. We got a couple of tractors and that, but a lot of it you couldn't do it on your own. It's too much work. Yeah.
And in terms of your revenue generation, you've got the bar here, you serve food, and you've got the fishing place, and you've got the homestay, right?
Yeah. We rent we have a lot of people come on holidays and stuff, and some have rented the homestay for 2 months at a time and stuff like that, and then they come for bar for food and they drink at the bar. We open the bar on a Friday and Saturday night. Well, it's open every day really, but mostly Friday and Saturday they come. Yeah. You got some fishing parks in Thailand. We've got the big fish and all that and stuff. Arapaima, we got big carp, we got Mekong catfish, big Mekong. We got alligator gar. So we're about 70% there at the moment. We've got a couple of more homestays to build, and then we'll be ready for operational. Hopefully towards the end of September. Yeah.
But not quite your retirement vision.
No.
No.
More work than I've done in the UK, to be honest with you. Yeah.
So you don't think you'd be doing anything like this if you weren't married to Jane?
No. No. I wouldn't want to do it I only do it because the family help us, and to be honest with you, I'm getting older now, and they tend to do a lot of the work, mate. A lot of the physical work, really. I still help them, but they're younger. The lad's only 21, so he's quite fit and jumps about and does all the bits and bobs. And
do you get on with all the family? Is it very
great,
pleasant?
Yeah. We get on great, yeah. Yeah. We get on great, yeah. Thais are quite easy to get on with, to be honest, yeah. They're always smiling. That's why they call it the land of smiles, isn't it? They're always smiling, whatever happens, they just get on with it. And if you get into a bit of a quandary, they sort of find the way out of it. Do you know what I mean? I have got some good techniques actually of stuff. Like they're quite good with the pools and the water and doing all that. Like, and they're quite good with the fish. Well, I've been brought up with it, where we from the UK and that haven't been brought up with it so much. They just jump in the pool, mate, and grab out fish and all sorts. Yeah. Sometimes you might have different, like, you see things different from my background to their background. You have a few ups and downs with them, like where you say, oh, well, we ought to do it like that, and then they'll say, well, we ought to do it like this sort of thing, you know what I mean?
It's compromise.
Yeah, compromise,
Yeah. We were talking earlier about how Thailand's changing. Obviously, you know, you've been here 9 years, I've been here 16 years. We've got a lot of friends that have been here a lot longer. How do you feel about the change? What do you think? How do you think it's going at the moment with all these changes?
I don't think it's going for the best way. I talk to a lot of guys, and it seems to get harder to get the visas and stuff to come to Thailand now. I got a couple of friends who are retiring out here, and they've like been older, like they've had a tough time trying to do visas online and trying to get their head around how you get a bank account and all that. A lot of them are totally different to me, because I'm out here because I like the rural Thailand and I like being here. But a lot of them don't seem to mingle in with the Thai families as much as what I'll probably do. You've got to like make it your family, else you don't fit in. And the Thais will seem to resent them a little bit because they don't seem to want to like sort of get together with the family properly, to get what I mean.
Yeah.
That some of them come up from patio and they still want to live the patio life, but it's not really the place up here to do it. They want to go out drinking every night and want to do this, but there's not really anywhere up here you can do it. Yeah. So. Yeah.
What's the secret for getting in with your Thai family?
I would say just be a genuine person. They need a little bit of help in the way that they've not got a lot of cash to do things. Like Jane's mother suffered for 6 months because they don't want to ask you for money to go to the dentist. I took her in the end and got her tooth because she was in terrible pain, but she was frightened to go as well. Bit of frightened and half and not have the money. Yeah, because as you know, Thai people don't get a lot of pension money when they get older. Yeah.
Do you ever worry about the land lockup and things like that? You know, it's an obvious question. As a foreigner, we can't own land here. This is a very sprawling piece of land.
I didn't buy the land yet. This belonged to Jane in the first start. Yeah, but Jane says if we ever had a problem, we'd compromise and sort out some deal at the end if we ever split up like. But I don't see that we'll ever will. We're both happy together. Yeah. The way I look at it, what you do is when you come here is you look at what you can deal with, and if you have to walk away, can you walk away from it? And it's just something you have to do. You know, you'd have to walk away from it if you didn't get on. And so I tell people in the first place, and I say about building houses when they come here, and I say only build what you can walk away from. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of them do that. Literally build big houses and they can't afford to walk away from it.
So just before we get back to today's interview with Daz, a quick word from our partners, Surfshark VPN. If you travel a lot like I do and you're connecting to many different Wi-Fis in different hotels, airports and restaurants, once you're connected, you log into your banking apps, you get onto your social media and you continue as usual. But the truth is you have no idea who else is connected to those networks. And it's not necessarily about some obvious attack. Websites can build profiles on you, store data about you, and one wrong click in a phishing email can cause a lot of havoc in your life. This is exactly why I use Surfshark VPN. I simply leave it running in the background and Surfshark VPN will encrypt my data, hide my location and make it harder to track me while I'm online. Surfshark have given me an offer to give to you. It's going to get you 4 months extra. You can use my code word NAKEDGURU at checkout. Simply download the app or go to www.surfshark.com/NakedGuru, and that's a money back guarantee. So if it doesn't work out for you, you get your money back. Those links are below in the pinned comment and the description. It seems that you're quite happy here. Do you plan to you know, you plan to live out the rest of your days here. You're not got any plans to go anywhere else. This is
I'm fine here. I'm fine here. Yeah. Absolutely fine here. Yeah.
Do you ever worry about like hospital treatment, things like that, getting to a hospital here? Or?
Nah, you're looking it's about 40 minutes to hospital. We get better hospital treatment here than we get in the UK. We got to pay for it, you know what I mean? But there you go. That's what I'll say anyway.
When you've made the move over this past 8 or 9 years, what's been the most difficult part of setting up here?
It's just adapting to Thai life, really. It's a big difference from the life we live in the UK to what they live here. Like I say, when I first come here, we didn't have a shower or anything, and we was, you know, you got the old saucepan thing in the barrel and you're washing off like that. I spent 3 weeks here doing that. I went straight back home, sent Jane the money to dig a well, and then they got showers put in, sinks put in, toilets, all that lot. And then, but that's the most difficult thing, is adapting to like rural life from the UK.
Had you ever had a long-term relationship in the UK?
Yes, I had a couple. Yeah, I had a 13-year relationship with a girlfriend, and I had a 5-year relationship with another girl. Yeah.
So when you look at your relationship in the West versus here, what do you think are any key differences?
Oh God, Thai women tend to do a lot more for you. Like, you can't cut your own nails, and you can't, just little things like that, like can't cut your own nails, and you can't even make a cup of tea. They want to do everything for you. They want to make all your food. Basically, you live like a king, really. Well, I do anyway. I live like a king, and everything's done for you. If I start washing cups up or anything, Jane's mum will tell Jane, and Jane will come in and telling me that that's her job, and you know. But so really, where I lived on my own in the UK, and I used to do all that myself. You just have to get used to like being told that you can't do that anymore. I want to do that. Yeah. When I first lived with Anna, the first girlfriend in Thailand who committed suicide, I always remember the first day I met her, she says the first rule was, don't go in my kitchen. And I couldn't find her the one morning, so I went in the kitchen, started making coffee, and all of a sudden I felt this cold thing on the back of my neck. I thought it was a teaspoon, and I turned round and she got a gun on me, saying, I tell you, keep out of my kitchen. Yeah. But it was all joking. Yeah.
What do you think is the most difficult part of the relationship, though?
The most difficult part, I don't see that any difficulties here, to be honest with you, in this relationship. You might have where they want to do something different or not. That's all it is. But you just sort that out now and then. We never really argue or anything like that. It's mainly about Thai's understanding Farangs and Farangs understanding Thai's, really. I'm learning to speak Thai. It's a lot better than it was. You do get some language barriers where they think you mean something else, and you actually mean the opposite. Do you know what I mean? You get some stuff like that, but normally it's sorted out within a few minutes. Yeah.
And about living with a family, some people would look at that and be like, "Oh, I can't do that." Like all the families around, like privacy. Is that ever an issue? Or
I've heard that off people. No, not an issue at all. No. Jane's got 2 sons. One's 18 in September. One's 16 in September, and I treat them like my own children. Do you know what I mean? You've got to do, else you won't be able to get on. We all go out. We all eat together. We all do everything together. Really, we all eat in here on the night, and all the workers stop work at 12 o'clock in the dinner time until 1. I'll have the dinner here. It's quite good actually. Where I see that the UK has lost all that. When I was a kid, we used to all go to our grandparents on a Sunday and have dinner and all that. and all that's gone out the window now in the UK. It's like people are sitting on their own eating the dinner, do you know what I mean? Like my mother, sitting on her own eating the dinner most days. They get forgot about. Yeah. I've got a sister who looks after my mum really well, but she can't be there all the time, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But mum's still quite active. She's 86 and she gets about for herself, yeah. But it's all right.
Is that a difficult part of living here, not seeing your parents? Or?
Yeah, miss my mum, miss my sister and that a lot. My mum and dad they split up when I was 6 anyway. My mum never had anybody else after that. So I'm always quite close to my mum. And she says, when you're coming home, and I'll say, oh, I won't be home till so-and-so, so-and-so. And every time I just tell her I miss her and she misses me, sort of thing. But it is difficult, yeah. But mum's too sick to travel out here. She's got she lost her eye with cancer and she can't climb steps for peripheral visions and all that. Yeah.
And how often do you get back?
I go back roughly once or twice a year. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's quite a lot now.
Yeah.
And what about? Do you have like pension in the UK, or do you just survive off savings here? And what would you say?
Off savings at the moment. I don't get pension till 67, so it's another 7 years away. I've got a private pension what starts when I'm 65. I'll see a lot of friends, and they don't want to part with the money too much either. And they expect the women to do wonders with the money, the little money they give them, and they want the top food on the table. I'll see all that, yeah.
It's a fine line, isn't it? It's like
it is a fine line.
You want to preserve your capital, but also you've got to deploy your capital and start living, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know a lot of guys who've got a lot of money and they're running towards the end of the life. Yeah, and I think sometimes what are you going to do with that money you've got left? Do you know what I mean? You have to think like that. I'll probably be one of them. But I like to spend it and use it. Yeah.
And what would you say like your monthly budget is out here? You know, you're living out here.
I would say about £1,500 a month, roughly, in English money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that budget, what's most of your money going on?
It's like food, and keeping the cars running. We've got 2 cars. The kids' schooling. We have to pay for the schooling every 6 months. We rent a condo because our lads go to a private school in Korat, and we rent a condo for them every month. And then obviously they've got a little motorbike they run about to school on and fetch food on and all that. And they got a little swimming pool in the condo and cafe and all that. It's all properly secured. So yeah, but that's what our money basically goes on, like food and looking after the kids at school, and there's one lad who wants to be a pilot. Yeah, so we've got to try and get him into university soon.
Has your personality changed at all, do you think, or like who you are has changed a lot since the UK to here? Or?
Yeah, I was always chilled out anyway, very chilled out, but I'm even more chilled out now. You know what I mean? Because the Thais are quite chilled out. Nobody gets angry. You don't hear no car horns going or anything like that. You probably saw that yourself. And you just get on with it and, oh well, that's it, that's the way it goes. And just let it go by.
Is there anything that does make you angry here? Or?
You see sometimes a lot of litter they throw out, the cars and stuff like that, and you think, well, I don't get angry, I just think, why are you doing that? And sometimes I'll go and pick it up and put it in my pocket. But that's how it is. It's the way they've been brought up. Yeah.
And the grounds here are immaculate. There's no plastic around. Like, is this something that you?
No, we're quite strict on that. Yeah, because of the fish. If it goes in the pools, you get plastic in the pools. It can harm the fish. Yeah.
And these fish are quite expensive, are they?
Oh, God,
how much are you? Charlie, give us a couple of examples of the fish and what they might cost.
Well, you're looking the big carp. You're looking £500 to £700 each. You're looking the arapaima, you're looking around 1,000. I'd say between £700,000 each. when they're in the sort of 2 metre range.
And how much would you say you spent on fish all in all here?
I'd have to sit down and calculate it.
The funny thing is, you're not like a massive fisherman yourself now.
No. We just done it for people. I've got a guy who helps me out, Dave Brown and Brian Stimpson, 2 guys, and they come and give me some tips on what to do and what to get and how to do it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Has there ever been a time where you thought, I'm going to pack this in, I'm going to go home or go somewhere else?
I ain't like that. I don't give up. I don't give up. I'll just keep plugging away and keep carrying on till it's finished. Yeah. But I don't think it'll ever be finished. It's always maintenance on the land to do, and yeah.
Have you named the place yet, or?
Yeah, we're naming it after Jane's father. Wonderful Canoe Anglers Lodge. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you seem quite content here, Dad, I've got to say.
Yeah, I love it.
You seem like you're enjoying it.
Yeah, but we've had a few ups and downs, as everybody does. Everybody has them ups and downs, but you just got to keep going on. Do you know what I mean? And when Anna passed away, it was tough. But I had a friend Barry, and he talked to me a lot. He was a ex nurse, like mental health nurse, and he helped me a lot with it. And when I come back to Thailand, I went with Jane to see Anna's son, and then realised that, you know, you blame yourself. You think, well, I could have done this and I could have done that, could have done that. And really, there was nothing you can do. He explained to me, he says, imagine your head's like a tank of water, he says, and it just keeps filling up, and if you don't release some water off by talking about it, the tank will explode. And that's how I got round it, thinking like that. Yeah. But I was you know, you blame yourself a lot. If I'd have been there, I could have stopped this, but you couldn't really. Yeah. Mm.
Do you think about it a lot now here in this?
Still think about it, yeah.
How often do you think it's something that crosses your mind every now and again? Or?
Yeah, daily basis, really. Do you know what I mean? He never leaves you, like that sort of thing. Yeah.
Do you ever still see your son?
I'll still go and see a family. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'll still go. I'll still go and see the family. Yeah.
You've probably seen a few people come and go to these rural areas.
Yeah.
What do you think is a common way it doesn't work out?
Basically, a lot of people, I see a few people come and go, Frangs and Whiteys. They don't seem to interact with the toys correctly. And they don't stop and listen and understand how toys work. You know what I mean? They automatically start thinking it's all about money. Do you know what I mean? It's not all about money. Thai people have feelings the same as what anybody else does, and they want people to love them. Do you know what I mean? And when you start saying to a Thai, oh, well, you only want me for money and all that, I've heard all that off people, they get angry about it. Thais never ask you for anything. They never ask you for anything, but it's down to you to read between the lines. You know, like if you see them struggling and you can help them a little bit, then you help them. That's the way I work with them. And, you know, they look up to you for that. You know what I mean? It's not all about money. It's about helping them work and helping them do this. And they don't want you to help them work, but if you go and help them, like we got a mushroom farm over there. Some days they'll have 100 kilos of mushrooms, and you have to clean the mushrooms and peel them, and to send them to market. So all of us get stuck in. Even the kids get stuck in and help. Uncles and aunties come from the next farm down. They all help us. It's just a good community, really. And if they all come and help us, we're finished by dinner time. All done. Yeah.
Because from the outside world, some people might say, oh, you know, you're the one spending the money. Maybe it's not about money, but it secretly is, you know, behind that. But then again, they're also, this is your family you're talking about, and you're the leader of your family and your tribe, in a way.
Yeah, well, because you're a foreigner, they put you up front, if you see what I'm saying to you. You're the front man for them, right? And you do pay for a lot of things to help them out and stuff like that. I mean, there's stuff that they can't do. Like, for instance, they couldn't set none of this up because they haven't got the money to do it. So you front that for them, and then, but they will pay you back in many ways by coming and working, doing good work, and sometimes they'll tell you they don't want money because you helped them do this, and you do get paid back off them. It's not all one way, yeah. But then you get people say to you from like Farangs basically that say, oh well, all I want is your money. It's not always like that. It's not like that. No. You don't get me wrong. You do have to spend a bit of money when you're doing a project like this, but you're gonna have to do that if you're in the UK or wherever you are. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that the family show gratitude, and if so,
Yes,
do
of course.
you think how do they show it?
They actually tell you, thank you for doing this. Thank you for helping my family. This is how they speak to you. Like we done a solar pump the other day, and we had the drill here drilling the hole out. Went down 74 metres, and when the drill finished and when I went, because they're all like happy because something else is being done, and when it went, they're all saying thank you for helping me, thank you for doing this, thank you for filling upon. So yeah, they actually do tell you, and you can see on the faces that they're really happy that I've done it. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Oh, well, it's something we've got to do, but being thanked for doing it and all that it's a big feeling, really. It's quite a good feeling because we've got to do it anyway. So being thanked for it, and you know, you feel good really because you've been thanked for something that you've got to do anyway.
As one of the final questions, what would your advice, like what do you think a top piece of advice is to somebody that's coming to live in Thailand?
I always tell people, if you're coming here, if you want to come and live here, because I get a lot of people and they say, oh, I want to move up here, it's lovely and all this. If you're coming up here, rent somewhere for 2 or 3 months, see how you get on in the community first, because it's not for everybody. And I know a few people who've built houses, started building houses up here and ended up going back. So that's what I advise to people. Come and try it before you put both feet in, do you know, and do it all at once. Just come and try it first. Yeah.
All right, Daz. Thank you very much. Cheers, mate.